Yo, we're here doing the thing. We're reacting environments. We're gonna pick up right off where we left off, reacting to presents. But
This is
first,
a reactions channel.
welcome to React Mondays.
Ball reacts to presents. Ball's reaction to presents will shock you.
It's even got like the red lines on the screen from his trail.
This presents did what? That's me reacting to the presents.
We should just go through the gifs and then just skip all the text and just react to the gifs the whole time. That's the whole stream.
Yeah, let's just do that now. Let's just get it out of the way. Huh?
Whoa! Oh! Damn!
Whoa.
Oh my god. Whoa, look at that.
Wait,
Oh,
wait. Huh?
is this real?
Oh.
They can do that?
Yo.
Yo, make sure to
Alright,
like and sub.
back to work. Like a subscribe. Like a subscribe.
Well, before we get started, we both have a little bit to show of like a little bit of the work we've done in the off time. Mostly, I mean,
Yeah.
if I was really going to show the work I've done in the off time, I would show my
I was
Rust
about to
base.
say,
Yeah.
let's just open up Rust and I will show you how to catch a fish.
But, because
Two
I didn't do
sharks,
much yesterday.
two small sharks, 70 scrap.
But
Not
today,
bad.
I added a second layer to the mall. So you got like the upper deck food court kind of deal, but the counter scale is way off. Also, my snapping angle is off. So these are fucking gigantic. They're way too big. I need to scale those way down. But still, you get the vibe. These are all going to be little food courts. You can get all kinds of food and meals and snacks. I did the math. So there's 4, 5, 6 in each one, and then there's 6 wings. So there's 36 food courts we'll have to account for. So odds are there'll be a lot of duplicates because that's not really worth putting a shitload of time into. Then you also have the wing actually has explorable stores now. I mean, there's nothing. They're all completely empty. But you can see there's actually like an entrance and a window and explorable stuff in there. And I even, right before stream, I got this working of where I'm going to start working on building this up as the fridge store. And I got a door. And the door, bye-bye, it actually opens when you walk up to it. And then it'll close behind you. Which is kind of nice. I didn't put collision on any of these yet. Because I haven't done anything in here. And then originally you were just stuck in here, but now it'll open on the other side as well. But yeah, very basic, but just the bare bones.
New tutorial just dropped.
Voronoi noise.
Worley and Chebyshev. I love Chebyshev.
What does that mean?
Chebyshev.
I think I've heard Voronoi before. I've heard the word. I don't know what it means really.
Chebyshev is a
fucking
Voronoi
random.
pattern. Chebyshev looks like this. You can get a lot of weird, like, fake geometry from it. Because it's like, it's made up of lines.
It's very chunky.
Yeah, it's good for something. I forget what.
It looks
I
like a
use it
map.
for something. Yeah. This is I guess what it looks like for him.
So this is just a new addendum to his like generating noise tutorial.
Yeah, which I tried to get into and I think it said I needed to do something else and then that said I needed to do something else.
Damn.
Yeah, you got to do organic variety to get to it. You have to beat basics.
That's like we stopped right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we'll revisit that. I don't know if we'll keep doing those ones on stream or if those will be like we'll do those on our own. It's hard to say for sure. Just because the fucking
Yeah.
the character movement one is so easy to do on stream because you get like immediate results and the ideas are so obvious that it's fun to just kind of play with that. Whereas with like
Yeah.
jobs, I got just completely lost. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know how this
These
helps.
ones are like these don't you don't make stuff that helps you, but like this the way you make this stuff is like the way you can make a bunch of other stuff. So you got to learn like the way. And this is how you learn the way. Damn. Using multiple cores. This is what we need. This is what people always stop at jobs, I bet. I bet everybody stops at jobs
Yeah,
because so many games are single core.
I'm sure that causes a lot of problems. New free freckles filter on Face app. Hold up. This is a big deal.
They're still updating Face app. How do they not have freckles? Don't they have old man?
You got freckles now.
Too little, too late.
Hold on, I'm putting freckles on. There he is.
They need to do a a mirror, but it's upside down.
Look in the stream.
Gotta open it.
I think you'll get there in time.
Give me, give me, give me Neutron.
It looks so fucked. You can't see the freckles at all, but I added freckles to him. Dude, adding a smile to people in that is like the funniest thing to me. That's always hilarious. Because it just looks so gross and off. But it's like, it's the perfect like uncanny valley example, I feel like. So you take a picture of someone like just looking neutral and then force a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Something's just off, you know. You can see it in their eyes. Okay.
You know what I was thinking? I think that something that could be like added to this that we would want and that he's not going to teach us, but he kind of like he taught us enough to do it. I think we should add a no clip mode to our movement script.
It's not a bad idea.
We're going to want that if we're level testing stuff all the time. It's annoying to have to run through the level.
It's very true, yeah.
If it just turns off your collider and I don't know, the flying around movement is tough, I guess, or it requires more thinking, but
It would have to like switch us to a different control set, I feel like.
oh,
Or I guess it would use swimming.
I just saw Chevy Chev in the babies. There it is.
What does that mean?
The Chevy Chev pattern in the babies.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
The babies use it sometimes.
Well, I think in reality, I think that's like a motherboard. I think I put the style of a motherboard on the babies.
You're actually mixing pictures.
Yeah.
I forgot that this wasn't filters.
Well, these are all like images I downloaded off the internet or images we had like made in the past.
Mm-hmm. The babies have a lot of powers.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of forms.
I like the cheese one. The one where they're made out of a slice of cheese.
I like the one where it's like all black and they're just really cloudy, like purple and yellow smoke.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. There's so many good ones though.
Yeah, I think actually that and the greenish yellow one where they're all like squared off. It kind of looks like the logo. What's up, Jesus?
We're just getting started here, getting going. I just
There it is.
demoed the mall a little bit. A few changes I've made around here. About second level upper deck food court and explorable interiors.
But
Ba-bam.
but uh but uh but
I need to add dances to the character as well. That's like very important. I feel like you need to have little, at least like crouches or something, like just a little way to interact and like be silly to the camera.
mm,
That's like a sorely lacking thing right now, and that's like very important to me in games.
needs more orange justice.
Yeah, that's why I used to be a bigger advocate of dances in games pre Fortnite, but I still do really like it. But I think more so like kind of making your own dances by just fucking around. But also, I mean, Rust added them, and I'm happy about it. Okay, you gotta get going though.
Yeah.
Reacting to presence. The acceleration zone is just one example of how to create a trigger zone with specific behavior. If you need a zone that does something else, you'll have to write new code for it. But the simple behavior of detecting and reacting to the presence of something somewhere is so generic that we ideally write it only once. And a lot of behavior is so simple, like activating an object, that creating a dedicated component type for it might be excessive. And more complex behavior is often just a combination of a few simple actions. It would be convenient if a level designer could create that by simply configuring game objects and adding some components, instead of having to create specialized code all the time. This is good. That's very good. That's very reassuring to read that this is kind of the focus of it. 'Cause that's kind of what I did for the door. I just made a volume that flips the bool when it's triggered, you know. So having
Yeah.
that, if I could have like a default class kind of idea for that, that would be very nice. I also realized
Yeah.
I left all these down here.
If you could put this on your thing, that would be awesome. Like if it's exactly the same, that would be
Oh, for the door, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really funny. That's happened twice then, where I just like accidentally kind of work ahead, like with the damage. These guys,
Mhm.
I tried to do what we learned in the jump pads, and then the doors kind of, we'll see. But these things actually deduct. I have like a HP, and those things like actually deduct my health when I collide with them. It does absolutely nothing, and it can go like negative and nothing happens, but
Yeah.
still, I could set some sort of behavior based on that eventually. But also the force that it exerts on you is just so crazy. Okay.
I thought of a game jam idea that maybe we could try someday as like a day long stream or something like that.
Okay.
I just thought like obviously there's like Sea of Thieves and stuff, but I was thinking of just a like a treasure map game where you get treasure maps and you just have to like find it, but in a really like specific way, I guess. Like make it really hard.
Okay.
Like make the map really general, but then have like I don't know. I don't know what we would do exactly, but I just thought like I could play a treasure map game forever. If I just kept finding treasure maps and then I have to go dig it up and I have to like
Minecraft
use
has that.
clues. Yeah. I mean a lot like I said, Sea of Thieves I feel like is just a much
I want to
bigger
love Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is so close to being like one of my favorite games. It's just
I've
like it's not rewarding. It doesn't
I've
reward you.
never installed it, but I've owned it for more than a
It
year.
has such a fucking like rock solid foundation, but you have everything unlocked immediately, and all you get for the rewards is cosmetics. So none of the money or the loot means shit, and it doesn't satisfy me at all to get money or like
Yeah.
complete missions or what. Like it just doesn't mean anything. Okay, let's create a detection zone component that detects whether something is present in its zone and notifies whoever is interested when something enters or exits. We do that by giving it a configurable on enter and on exit fields of the type Unity event from the Unity engine.events namespace.
Oh, okay. So
Hmm.
that's cool. I've never heard of an event type before, but I feel like that could be super useful.
I don't know what this means, but it sounds good, yeah. Okay.
Unity dot oh, Unity engine dot events.
Simply have it invoke the invoke method on the appropriate event in onTriggerEnter and onTriggerExit. That will trigger method invocations on everything that registered to the event. So are we gonna have like a slot in the editor that we can say like,
Yeah,
click and
scroll down.
drag into that? What? What? That's crazy.
So event is or on enter is an event and on exit is an event. And you can just invoke that event.
So does that mean like I would create the this thing as the door trigger, and then I would just drag it into the map and then drag in like door open event onto the on enter kind of deal?
Think so. We'll see. I don't get it yet.
The
I think
component's events will be exposed by the inspector as lists named on enter and on exit, which are initially empty. The parentheses have nothing between them after the names that indicate that these events have no parameters. To demonstrate how this works, we'll create a simple material selector component type that has a configurable array of materials and mesh renderer reference. This has a single public select method with an index parameter, which assigns the desired material to the renderer if valid. It has a single public select method with an index parameter, which assigns the desired material to the renderer if valid. So we just change what material we're currently using depending on what like volume we interact with, I guess. Here, I'm gonna do something real quick just to make this a little bit more satisfying.
if mesh renderer and materials are not null and the index is greater than 0 and the index, which is the input to all this, is less than materials length, uh, then mesh render material equals. So we have an array of materials. We put in an index and it just gives whatever material in our array of materials is that number that we give it.
So I'm just gonna make an alternate material real quick of like a different color palette for Julia, and I'm gonna make it so you can switch between them. But I figure that'll only take a quick second here. I just need to erase out so she's not pink.
I'm gonna go pee.
I'll be done by the time he's back. It's just quick. Oh, accidentally undid. And I just gotta create a new material that uses that texture that I'll swap between. So it's green. And I'll just duplicate the base material that I'm using for her already and just replace it with the green one. And then I also gotta bam, bam, bam.
Oh, so this is like a generic thing to replace how we've been doing it, where we write a couple lines of code in the script for like when it interacts with something, it changes color. This is just like a material selector that we can then pull from, and we can just use like material select one.
There we go. Like now I got a green color palette for her. Oh no, I missed a spot. She has a birthmark. It's like Zuko, the burn on his face. I kind of fuck with this green though. This looks kind of good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I just gotta, instead of doing the same thing that he's doing, I'll just swap between this mat and this mat on some in-game trigger somehow. I don't really get it yet. I just wanted to have that ready. So wait, is this a new script?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the idea is that we're gonna use it in other stuff, and we like can use it in other stuff, so we don't have to keep writing
So
on
it could
trigger
be
enter.
any object or any set of materials.
Yeah.
Just a generic way to say like make it configurable what material we're using.
Yeah, and I think if you click on the script in the array or in the assets, you can set the defaults. So you would like have a list of materials that you're just always using. And you could say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2.
So this is how we would make like well maybe not necessarily for sure, but this is one way we could make like different color palettes for things on the fly really easily
Yeah.
for like characters or whatever. Okay. Create a material selector component with a red inactive zone and a green active zone material, which will then be used to change the visualization of the detection zone. Though it's not required to add it, the game object. Though it's not required to add it to the game object that it affects, this makes the most sense. So it's saying if you're not in the zone, have it be material X, and then if you are in the zone, have it be material Y? Or
Yeah.
it's just if the zone is active or not, I guess.
It's just like, well, this script is just like based on the number you input. And then we choose how we put in the number, I guess, with this other script we're doing.
Um. Okay, yeah, let's do that then, I guess. So what are we adding this script to our object?
Um, I don't know if we're adding it to anything
How does he access this shit then?
in the first bit, in the assets when you click on it.
Oh,
But it doesn't have a mesh renderer on it.
it looks different. Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Oh, it
Yeah,
still
I
looks
think
different though.
maybe it is. Maybe it is on it. Default references will only be applied in edit mode. So I guess he does drag it on. Oh, though it's not required to add it to the game object that it affects, this makes the most sense. So yeah, he does. He does put it on
So we're putting it on the field or the player?
the field.
Okay. So I guess I'll just make a box volume. Or wait, it should be like a box, not a box volume, right? Like how... If I put a material on a collider, would I see it?
Just put it on a. Just make a mesh renderer box. Like you don't need a collider. Or do you? For the trigger.
I guess maybe if you make another collider... Oh, I guess you could just say is trigger on the box collider.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And then it won't.
And then we put material selector on that bitch. I didn't save. Whoops. Okay. So we're creating element 0 is detection zone off, element 1 is detection zone on, and then mesh renderer. What do I drag there, I guess? Or just drag the mesh itself?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. So I guess material 1 is just red, and then material 2 is green. Now add an item to the on enter event list of the detection zone component. Oh, so we have to put the detection zone component on here as well. I didn't do that. Link the game object with its material selector to the item via its bottom left field. Oh wait, that's not right. This should be detection zone. Link the game object with its material selector to the item via its bottom left field. After that, it's possible to select the material selector.select method.
So I guess what it does, these events will then like do other functions. So you have an event and then you can just like invoke other functions within other scripts.
Okay, well, just the thing underneath runtime only, that's what tripped me up. I think I get that now because I just dragged the item itself in there and then it opened up all these different things that I could select from there. So then I went to material selector.select. Set it to 1, and then on exit, same thing, set it to that, material selector dot select 0. Make sure the zone object uses the inactive red material by default, then it starts like that, but we'll switch to the active green material as soon as something enters the zone, and when something exits the zone, it will become red again. Hopefully. Hey.
Is your is the detection zone script like, did you have to type that in, the material selector?
No, I just dragged in the object itself.
Oh, that's what it is.
I dragged.
I thought it was the
I don't know
script.
exactly. Maybe you're supposed to drag in
No, that's
material
definitely
selector there,
no, because he has it as detection zone in there,
but
but
it's not the detection zone script.
yeah,
He
it's
must have
because
just
he
named
called
the
his
object.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it is. Because now I get access to everything, which is very nice. Select on runtime, on enter, on exit. Cool. I feel like this system could be pretty useful.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna use this a lot. Like this already. I'm so glad I did that door shit right before the stream, because I feel like I could just go back and redo the door now completely using this setup, and it'll work way better. But yeah, it works. Turns the box green. I mean,
there it is.
There we go.
That's weird. It can't go between. Oh right, one of these is not. I'm mute the. Wait, I feel like this is opposite of what it should be. When I'm in, it should be 1, right?
Yeah.
Or wait, no. On enter is 0. On exit is 1.
Well, I have it reversed.
Oh, okay.
I have it as the opposite. Oh, and so does he. So I wonder, could I drag this material select script onto my player now? Like the actual mesh, and then I'm gonna experiment with that.
You'd still have to have a. You'd still have to have something to. You'd have to have an event to switch it.
Yeah, it would be the same thing. It'd be the box.
Oh, I see.
So just when I go in the box, my character turns green too.
I don't know if it'll. Yeah, I guess if you put material selector on your character as well, it should be fine.
That's what I'm trying. So we'll see how that goes. And then the mesh renderer is just... Oh, wait. Or is it that? Okay, yeah, it's that. And then now I go here. I say on enter also affect the player. I feel like this would be a huge list of shit for the player, huh? And go to... Huh, it doesn't show up. Maybe it's because it's actually the base. Okay. Then I go material selector. Select material selector. Select 1. Oh, that doesn't look like it's actually working. Oh, it's... I think I just put it on the wrong thing. It's supposed to be on this bit. Which is weird. I thought this was the actual mesh, but I guess that's just the animator. So I'll remove that. And then put it on there instead. Material 1. Material 2. Mesh renderer. Player. Is there a like increment or something? Material selector.
Where?
Select. I was just curious if I could set it to just change rather than like if I could set it to like once I walk through this, now I'm green, and then I can leave and just stay green. But it's whatever. It was just like a debug thing I was curious about. I'm sure I could write it in.
If you just put it as, if you just put it on as trigger exit. It probably is. Or wait, does the detection zone have it on?
It is working because I just looked in here and it's actually changing this. So I think the problem is just that I kind of have my character set up in a weird way. There it is. Okay. Last time. I know what to do now. Because it's actually the material is actually applied to like these children pieces. So that's the base mesh. So I gotta apply the material selector there on the one that actually affects the material. And the accessories and shit won't change either right now, but that's not super important. I'll figure it out later.
Try dragging your mesh renderer part on it. Maybe because it's skinned, like maybe because it's animated, it might have an issue with that.
Maybe. We'll see if that's even a problem, though, because, I mean, this is a child of... Like, this mesh renderer is... I don't know. It's going to be affecting the wrong mesh renderer, I think.
Yeah, she doesn't have a... I think that... I bet that's what it is.
Can't I? Yeah, that doesn't even change anything.
I bet if you changed her... I bet if you changed the type to skinned mesh renderer instead of mesh renderer, it might work. Because she doesn't have a mesh renderer.
Okay, so you're saying like in the script do that?
Yeah.
Can I just...
No, the first bit. That's the name.
Like that?
Yeah, it's a type. Should be enough. Unless there's an error.
Okay. And now... Oh, well, now that's not going to work for the box, but whatever.
Yeah, I think the full version of that would be so that it affects people too. You would have just a check to do it. Add a skin mesh if it has skin mesh, and add a mesh if it has mesh.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, it does still work. What the hell?
Oh, because you're changing it. Because you have it on. You have the cube in there too, right? Or are those accessory pieces?
Well, I thought right here is where it would be fucked up as mesh renderer on the material selector.
Yeah.
But I guess it's fine. Wouldn't have expected that to work. Yeah, whatever.
Maybe skinned mesh renderer like takes it into consideration.
I could also just like hide the mesh itself and just treat it as like a volume that turns you green. This is how we could do like fake dark areas, huh?
Yeah, that's how This is how Kingdom Hearts 1 did all their shadows.
It just swaps to like a
Well, they would
shadow
lerp.
version.
They would lerp to a dark texture.
Oh, that's so smart. Let me try
So
that.
you'd have like in betweens. I don't know how you would do it with the events though, because events are like on and off.
I don't know what I just wrote. Whatever.
Oh,
That's so cool. It doesn't apply to all of her accessories like the gun and everything, but I could make that work. I just have to add new events to the detection zones
mhm.
and new material selectors. It's kind of a spike when I step in it though. I feel like
Yeah.
maybe it's not actually doing it.
A spike like it goes on and off.
No, I mean like performance.
Oh,
I guess a dip rather. Doesn't seem it's not actually showing up on the FPS count, so I don't know. But yeah, if we could make that lerp, that's like we have it figured out. Like that's it, I feel like. That's so
definitely.
cool.
You can
Okay.
like you can build in stuff into the URP so that you can like make fake shadow. But honestly, if we figured that out, we could possibly go back to the original like the base Unity visuals.
Oh, like not use URP?
Yeah, like we may not even need it.
That's true, yeah. I like this one. Okay. Let's carry on then. That was fun. It's a fun little side thing. I like this a lot already. I feel like this is going to change how I use Unity.
Yeah, it's like it's a pretty linear thinking, like you get to just think about like when this happens, do this in like a lot better.
Yeah, because
You get like a
even
lot
when I
more
was doing the
scale.
door, I had that problem of like, okay, I have to make a script that accesses the boolean of the animator. I guess it would effectively be the same thing, but no, yeah, now I would plug the animator in and then just say like change bool or something like that, I think.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't even need to have a script. Well, it's still a script, but I wouldn't need to have like a custom written script for that. Okay. First enter and last exit. The detection zone works, but does exactly what it's programmed to do, which is invoke on enter each time something enters and on exit each time something leaves. Thus, we can get a mix of enter and exit events, like enter, enter, exit, exit, and end up with a visually inactive zone while there are things in it. It's more intuitive for the zone to remain active while there's something in it. It's also easier to design with a zone that guarantees that enter and exit events will strictly alternate. Thus, it should only signal when the first thing enters and when the last thing exits. Refactor name the events to on first enter and on last exit to make this clear, which will require hooking up the events again. See, now I didn't even realize this. If I kick a can into that box, I'll turn shadowy. I bet you that's how it's gonna work. Yeah. It's an interesting byproduct. I didn't even consider that it would work like that, but that makes a lot of sense. Get in there, you fucking dumpster. So now I can stay shadowed as long as that thing's over there. Okay, so now I gotta change detection zone.
Sure suggests writing clothes for me.
What?
Pinterest sent me a notification about a Pinterest board called Writing Clothes.
Like clothes
Oh,
that are
it's because
specifically for writing?
I was looking at glove designs. These are all
Oh.
gloves. Yeah, I found the best gloves possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're called the Evas.
Fingerless cut-off gloves with
No,
the opening here and a Velcro strap that goes over the top of your hand.
NASA Eva gloves. They're extravehicular activity gloves for people who go in space.
Ah, EVA. Well, I
I
can't.
think they're.
You gotta move them up.
Oh, right.
Oh, those are chunky.
This is what I was looking at for Cassidy's like electricity gloves.
Ah, okay.
All these little contacts on the inside.
That's true. Yeah, if they feel like superhero gloves.
NASA design is really my favorite, I think. I love the big chunky. Oh, also I see this all the time. Look at this fucking model. No, it's too small. Uh Look at
There
that.
you go. Jesus. Why? There's no way
Come on.
that can like animate, right?
I mean, you could rig it, but it's probably not rigged. It's not like cloth rigged, I'm sure. But you could pin it in the right places and do a
Jeez.
sim. But yeah, this is something that I noticed I like in glove design a lot. The back pad thing. The like knuckle pad.
Oh yeah. I like how it kind of overhangs like that. Yeah.
God, I'm 100 years old on Google. What's that say?
So we're doing like a philo structure here. First and last out.
I've never heard that before.
There's also LIFO, last in first out.
Philo versus LIFO, which is better? Hmm.
It was FIFO, not Philo. First in first out, last in first out.
Uh,
I said that wrong.
Oldest person, newest person. FIFO versus LIFO.
That's the name of the boxes they're fighting.
First in, first out versus last in, first out.
Yeah, it's just like a structure for like databases or like sorting or
Yeah, it's sorting. How to sort stuff. Push pop.
yeah, queues.
Push pop is actually that's a fucking great example of this. Of what? For FIFO?
Yeah. That's how we were always taught it was with the stacks and the queues.
I never did any classes with the sorting and stacks and queues.
I did,
I
but they
still have,
weren't the best. I had like two good ones.
still have Rustified up.
Didn't use them as well as I would like.
I went back to the same Rustified tutorial page on fishing like 10 times because I just didn't read. I would read like one sentence and then I think I
Zone
knew
out.
what to do. I think I've cast the line like 500 times at this point.
Yeah, we were playing with this big Zerg of like 12 people that Joe got us into. That was just
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. And we got online rated by like a 4-man that just like wiped us out.
Wow.
Well, because no one was home. We were all off doing other shit.
Oh, yeah.
And there's this guy who's like situated himself as like the leader. He likes to bark out orders and yell at people whenever something bad happens.
Mhm.
And he keeps falling into that classic trap of like blaming other people for like every bad thing that happens, even though they're doing exactly what he said, you know? Like
Yeah, that's super annoying.
he would tell us to go out and go and he was having us just camp the underwater labs, which is like so lame. I wanted to just explore it and then leave, but he wanted us to just sit there and wait for the crates to respawn, loot it, wait for the crates to respawn, loot it, over and over and over and over. So I got bored
Well,
and I left eventually.
that's worth doing. That's so I do
It's
that. I camp
profitable.
it. Well, I camp it for the fishing. It's the
Oh,
only place you
see,
can get the roughy.
I should have fucking brought a fishing pole down there. That would have made that so fun.
Yeah, it's like got the best fishing spawn
So
rate
if
of
I start
any
playing with them
spot.
again and they ask us to do that again, I'm gonna be way more down now that I know you can fish down there. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and
But
like any fish you catch, you can turn into bait.
but yeah,
So you
then
just
when we
keep
were
going.
gone, he got raided. We all got raided, and it was just him at the base. And he just kept saying like, "Yeah, it was just me at the base, so like, of course I'm gonna lose." And it's like, bro, you told us to leave, because he was also doing the same shit of like, "Oh, everyone's just sitting around in the base. Go do shit." He's just like frustrated and trying to find something to blame that isn't him, you know.
Kind of sucks.
But whatever. It was still a pretty fun setup overall.
Yeah.
Okay. How close are we to the next thing? Detecting appearing and disappearing objects? What? How does that happen? Oh, he sets it
Appearing
up
in
to make the levitating zone like a toggleable thing. That's pretty cool.
hot reloads.
Like when steam comes out of a reload animation, and he goes.
Wait, what? Steam?
Yeah, like a gun. It's like a laser gun,
Oh,
and you
I thought
reload
you
it,
meant
and it
like
goes.
I thought you meant like when you open Steam, it makes a noise, or like when it updates. When it updates and you have to reopen
And
it, it
has a
goes
gun reload
whoosh.
animation.
That's how in Destiny they have a gun. They have a shotgun called the Chaperone that has like bull horns for the sights, and every time you reload, it does a whip noise, and it's really good. You like whip it to reload. Yeah, it literally sounds like that. Like it doesn't. It's just like a a default. It's like a sound bite. Like it's not in the space at all. It's just in your ears.
Damn, he calls back to the persisting objects tutorial here.
Which one was that?
It's in the
Did we give
object
up on that?
management. We haven't even started that. We never did object management.
I did.
Oh, you did. So maybe you'll know this one
I
better than
did
I
some
did.
of this.
But yeah, he's this bit here to
Object
make
management
this.
is the one that he teaches saving.
Mm,
That's how you learn how to save games and save stuff, save scenes.
that was a thought I had recently. Like, when you're running around the mall, there's the rigid bodies fucking everywhere, and you're just constantly knocking shit over and breaking shit. Like when you go to a store and then come back, should everything just be back where it was so you can break shit again? You know what I mean? Or would
Yeah,
it be
that's some.
better for everything to feel like you're actually having an impact and the place looks like shit?
Yeah, I think maybe we should. I mean, the best I think version of it is like a thing that where they like we can somehow control it like piece by piece, I guess, so that over time it can like regenerate things. You know what I mean?
I had a
Like,
proposal to fix that idea.
mm,
If there was like a payphone you could call like the janitors on, and then it'll like go to black and then come back and all the props will reset.
That would work.
I feel like that's
I
one
think
like kind of hard hammer. Like I guess
maybe it's just like every day it gets reset if it's
that's true
still
if we
doing
do the
a,
day night cycle.
or even if you leave like a wing or something.
I think the day night cycle is definitely the safest option. Just on the day reset, you come back and everything's all tidied up. Whoa. But yeah, I think to some extent having like if you just ran through and there was like a stack of fucking pots you ran through and shattered all of them, and then you go and store and come back and they're all back again. Like, is the
Yeah.
player like, oh fuck yeah, I get to break these things again, or is it like, I just broke these? Like, come on, like, I guess like I don't know what the reaction
Yeah.
would be.
No, I mean, in that situation, if you got anything from the pots, I think most people's response would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit here and farm this." Like,
That's true. Yeah, then it becomes like a tedious thing. Like, you got to keep breaking this shit over and over.
yeah. And I think a little bit of like farming is, I think that can be fun for people. Like, if it's not required, if there's like opportunities to farm something so that you don't have to worry about a certain resource for a while, that's like, I think that's usually fun in a game.
I think it's another thing we have to decide on. Is it like, I guess I don't know if this is like a concrete thing in game development, but like, do we want like a discrete or like a continuous currency? Meaning like, is there a fixed amount of gold in the world that you can get, or is it like Mario Odyssey where you just get fucking as much as you possibly can? Because in my head, the coins that are specific to each store, those are discrete. There's only 50 per store or whatever. But
Yeah,
like,
like is the currency 100%able?
yeah, like because if it's not, then the pot grinding thing you're saying is totally possible, where you could just keep breaking pots, get coins over and over and over. But if it's
Yeah.
a discrete amount of coins, you break the pots once, you get the coins, and then you're good. I don't know which. That's another thing that I feel like we could go either way on that structure of like. It's just
Well,
we'd have to do some studying on that. I feel like.
doing the really specific store currency saves us a lot, I think, because like we don't have to think about like, oh, how much currency works for all the stores combined.
Yeah, I really
Like
like the idea
if
of each
we,
store having its own currency, which again makes no fucking sense, but
yeah, no, that's
it
great
doesn't
though.
matter. Like,
I mean the whole, I feel like say like, I mean we wouldn't add a DLC to this, but in a situation where we're going back and then adding new stores, like we don't have to think like, oh, this breaks other shit when it comes to like money, or like they can take this from this store and take it to an old store and do something that we didn't think about. Like this, the stores just have the currency for that store. Where are you
were you
at in the
watching my
code?
stream just now?
No.
Watch this real quick. I found like a weird, kind of a cool like moment that just happened. Let me know when you're watching.
I am. Ooh.
Like, imagine if
Whoa.
that's how we handled like falling out of bounds. It's the
Oh yeah,
same mall. You just fall right back into it.
not Fall Guys, Human Fall Flat.
Is that how they do that? Oh
Human
yeah,
Fall
you're
Flat
right.
does that. It's awesome. That's like one of the coolest things they do.
I mean, I don't think there'd
And that
ever
game
be a
is,
situation where you're gonna fall out of bounds anyways. Like,
yeah.
it's not like Human Fall Flat where there's like pits that you can fall off and like an edge of the map. In this, it's very closed in.
I don't know why I thought of this, but what if we had a mechanic in the game that was like mimics, but they were called devil closets. And if you open a closet, there's just a monster in there that, and
Are
that's
there
it. Like
many
if you,
closets like around the map?
no, yeah, I guess so. That would be the idea. Or a couple closets. I guess I was just thinking, I guess really what I was thinking was closets that open like chests. So it's not like, instead of like open the door into the closet and then you go in, it's just like when you just open it, you see what you get what's inside. You don't have to walk in
I am down
like
for that, especially
in the
within
camera around.
like if we have like storage areas and like behind the
Yeah, like
scenes kind of zones.
secret closets or utility closets, we'll say, could have some stuff in them.
But that just gave me a separate idea too. That
Yeah.
what if we had like the opposite of that? So you have like the pots that everyone's gonna break, you know, and you break over and over and over, and you get so used to breaking, like in Dark Souls. And there's just like one that's just like nice and is like friendly and alive and like fleshy. And you knock him over and he goes like boom, boom, like thuds, and has like a
Mhm.
gross sculpted face in the side of it. It's like, oh, and you could discuss with him.
That's good. Pot of greed.
Oh yeah, that's pot of greed, huh?
Well, it's not greedy.
Okay. Do you want to get to detecting appearing and disappearing objects?
Yeah.
So to make this behavior possible, we have to keep track of the colliders that are currently in the zone. We'll do that by giving detection zone a list collider field initialized to a new list from the systems.collections.generic namespace.
Oh
So
yeah, and this is something I've been meaning to learn. This is great.
so he
This is
links
very
to the persisting objects tutorial of the
yeah.
object management to like explain this.
This is where I like kind of I think this is where I stopped because I like looked up other videos and didn't understand, and then I tried to just go and use it for my own thing. But I think I understand this a little better,
So could you
especially now that I
explain
know
it
the
a little bit?
syntax. Let's keep let's just keep following along, I think,
Okay.
because I don't think I could explain it as well as he probably will, and I can expand. I can
Um,
expand on it.
in on trigger enter, only invoke the enter event if the list is empty. Then always add the collider to the list to keep track of it. Oh, so it's just a list of all the things that are overlapping with the hitbox right now, basically.
Yeah,
So it's kind
but
of like
it's
the get steep contact count.
yeah,
So then it's just saying
it's
if
not an
there's
array.
nothing, it's a list.
Yeah. I think the idea is that it can be different types of objects. Or no, these are all colliders though. I don't know what the difference is, but I think list maybe just has different methods you can use because it's like a Unity thing. Or no, it's a system thing. System.collections. Huh.
So then
Well, I
instead of
opened
saying is something in the collider, it says is the list of things in the collider 0. And then if not, there's something in there, basically. You could just
yeah.
infer that. In on trigger exit, we remove the collider from the list, and only if the list is empty, invoke the exit event. The list remove method returns whether the removal succeeded. This should always be the case because otherwise we failed to track a collider, but we can check it anyways. So now it should work that we could throw something in the zone, and then as long as there's at least one thing colliding with it, it'll stay true, regardless of
Yeah.
you entering and re-entering over and over.
I remember lists, you don't have to define how long they are. Arrays, you have to say
Oh,
how long they are.
okay. This isn't working.
And lists gets a you can do add or add to a list. What isn't?
The collider.
Oh yeah, I have that too. Oh, I didn't change it to on first enter and on last exit.
Oh, oh, I did. What the fuck?
Oh.
Hmm. Oh, maybe you have to update it now that we've changed shit. Oh yeah, the detection zone has to be remade now.
So is on first exit its own thing? I feel like I always thought on trigger enter was like specific. to the trigger box.
Well, it's just saying like when there's nothing in the box anymore. Like that's what it means by
Oh,
the
right.
last exit.
Yeah. I always thought it was like Unity or like a update or something though, where you write update and Unity knows what update is.
Um, you're saying on first enter you thought it was, and on last exit.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think it is. I think that's just a
Yeah,
function,
on
a
first
method that he
enters,
named
it's just a name. So when does it get called? You know?
within on trigger enter. So on
Oh, I'm changing on trigger enter. What is on first enter?
so within on trigger enter, there's a check if collider's count equals 0, and then if it is, you call on first enter invoke, which is you call that method, and then if
Yeah.
not, you add that thing that you're colliding with to the list of colliders.
So where is on first enter?
Within the if statement, it's on first enter dot invoke.
Yeah.
Did you update it in the definition as well, above
Oh
in
no,
Unity
it's
event?
here. This is what it is. That
Okay.
that was the mistake. I was thinking like I didn't know what we were changing, but
Oh, I
forgot this
see.
line.
I see the
I was
confusion now. Yeah.
I was changing on trigger enter to on first enter, thinking it was a like a Unity default on first exit. This is still broken.
Well, you have to update the detection zone script. The events are like blanked out now. You have to like fill those in
Yeah.
manually. What the fuck? Oh, I have it flipped. That's why. Okay, and now I'll also set up making my character change colors again. The problem is I flipped the 1 and the 0, so the default doesn't really work anymore. But I just fixed that too. That's so cool. So just anywhere that I want to have like a dark area, I could just put a little volume and have it change to the darkened material. I just got to figure out how to lerp that. I mean, I figure you could put anything in these events. We could just make an event that lerps, I suppose. So it's a on trigger enter. Oh, so it would be in material selector that we do that.
Sorry, got distracted. I think this works again. And we add a list to detection zone. Yeah, I already did that.
I think I might have already done it. The LARPing thing, that is.
Oh yeah.
We'll see if it actually works.
Switch your screen. I'm all big.
Oh, yeah, it was. Oh, it just turned yellow. What the hell? It did like a blend between the two. Index out of range exception. Oh. I did index -1, but that doesn't always make sense if it's 0. I was just trying to say from... You're lerping from the previous material to the next material. So I guess I should say between index and then index +1. Maybe. That might be a better way to do it. Or wait, I should just say... Because you get past either 0 or 1. So it should just be like, what is the current material? So could I just say mesh render or dot material?
How do they change it in selector? Mesh render dot material, yeah.
Yeah, they just... Okay. That might do it then. That might be it. I hate when I keep doing this where I spawn my character like far away from the thing I'm testing. Kind of works. No, it's still snapping actually. It's not blending. But it isn't doing the right colors, but it's like creating a new color or something. That's weird. Okay, well, I suppose that's something I'll mess with later. Yeah, it seems like it's like blending between the two different things. Which doesn't really make sense. Material selector. So it should go from current material to materials index. Because that's how they originally did it, right? He just said materials dot index equals whatever. Mesh render dot material equals materials index. So maybe I have to say mesh render material equals mesh render material lerp.
Well, the materials are like the ones. Sorry, the materials are ones that we plug in that
Yeah.
like. I think at that point, yeah, you would have to. You can't like lerp between indexes because it'll just be two different materials.
Well, that's the point. That's what a lerp does. You give it two
Well,
different
like
materials and then it blends between them.
no, it just blends two values, I think.
Well, this is if you material dot lerp is different than
Oh,
just.
oh, oh. I'm sorry. I didn't know that existed.
Just why I thought it would be so easy because I was like, oh, it's already built
Yeah.
in. It just literally says like interpolate
Hmm.
between two materials. So makes all color and float values of a material to be interpolated from start to end based on t. When t is 0, all values are taken from start. When t is 1, all values are taken from end. Maybe that's the problem, is that I set it to be 0.5. 'Cause I thought that would be... I guess it's never going to 1. That's the problem.
Hmm.
I thought that would make it take half a second to blend between them. No, okay, maybe I gotta make that number bigger. Yeah, it's not doing it. It's also not changing my character's mesh at all, which is weird. That should be getting changed still. Element 0 and element 1, mesh renderer is cube mesh renderer.
You know how to find a YouTube video that only has a one word title? Because if I search it, it just comes up with like other videos that have that word in the
Oh,
title. Like it's
um,
impossible, it seems.
yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I would say unless there's like
There's no advanced
an
search.
advanced YouTube search thing that's like its own website or something like that.
Yeah, it seems like that's been shut down if it was a thing. I guess I could go by upload date and then no, but then you can't go by page. You have to just scroll. So I'd have to scroll forever. Why wouldn't relevance be things that have the quotes don't work? Sorry. I'll find that later.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do here too, because I'm just trying to figure. I was hoping to get this lerp thing going so I could just blend between them. That would be very nice.
Material, is it materials.lerp?
I think so.
Material.lerp. Interpolate properties between two materials. Most often you want the materials that are interpolated between to be the same, use the same shaders and textures except for colors and floats. Oh, so it doesn't interpolate texture.
Hmm.
It interpolates the values in
So
it
I'll make a
probably works
duplicate.
better
I'll,
for
or wait, it should work with the box still then, because this isn't two
oh,
different textures. These are the same texture. It's just a different
but
color emission.
it turned yellow, right?
The first time it did, I think it because it became halfway between these two.
Yeah.
That's because I had it to 0.5 though. Now when I put it back up, it just toggles.
Hmm.
That's probably why my character isn't working though. That makes sense. So that means I just have to make a variant of my model where it's just darker rather than a new texture that's darker. So that should be pretty easy if I just do that. There, yeah, it's gonna be like the same effect. So hopefully now, I mean, it'll still be like a snap. It's not gonna blend, but it should actually work on my character now. Yeah. Okay, that was helpful still. What if I make the duration like really big? Maybe like 50,000. Like, what if it is blending just really slow, really quickly?
Yeah. I'm not really
Uh,
familiar with how to use like the rate in lerp.
yeah, I figured it was just the amount of time it takes to blend between them, but it doesn't seem to be the truth. This duration equals 2. When t is 0, all values are taken from start. When t is 1... Wait, do I have to... Oh, I have to actually keyframe duration to change, or like... I have to like put it in update and then like increment it, I think. Oh, so okay, I understand what's happening now. Lerp, it's... Um... I have material 1 and material 2, and I'm just saying lerp, lerp between red and green at halfway. So then it gave me yellow, which is halfway between those two. It just gives me a value that is, this is the amount that is, like, how far between the blend between this is it. So 0 is full red, 1 is full green, 0.5 is yellow. It's not, it doesn't give me a full blend. It just says, here's a material that is this percent blended between these two materials. So if I said 0.1, it'll be red with like a little bit of green. So the way I have to do it is I have to put it in an update where it keeps setting this, and then this value increments up to 1.
We've had to do that like every time we do lerp. It's on an update.
Yeah. So I have to put it in update and then set it to so that duration increments up to 1. And that'll be how we determine like how much time it takes. So that's where the problem was misunderstanding that duration thing. By duration it means like how much time has durated. What is elapsed, I guess.
Elapsed, sure.
What the fuck duration? Is there any like conjugation of duration? Durated, durates, like, I don't know. That's a special word, I guess. So yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. But I guess I have to like. So what I do is I make a gate in the update that's triggered by this. I don't know why it does this. God damn it. So within update, it says if gate blah blah blah, and then I create bool gate, and then here I say gate equals true, and then I take this. Oh, damn. I can't access that index, though. How do I get that index from here to here?
What is the verb associated with the noun duration? Endure.
Oh, interesting.
I wouldn't have thought of that. Endure. It comes from the Latin word for hard, like durability.
That makes sense, I guess, kind of.
I don't know. I don't know why it comes from that, but
I guess it
long
makes
lasting.
sense in that they sound similar, but it doesn't make sense in that, like, I understand that. God damn it. Fuck. I think this is where a coroutine would come into play, and I don't fully get coroutines yet.
They use it?
What?
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah,
lerp.
because my idea was I open up this gate, it lerps, and then it closes the gate. But I can't access that index outside of the void, the select void. And I don't know how I could possibly do that. Like, I can't have update take index as an argument, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Can I say, like, select dot index? Is that...
Maybe. Or material selector dot select dot index. Maybe. It's defined in select, so it's not. Or yeah, if the void is public, can you make the int public as well in the definition? You can. No, you can't. That messes everything up. Don't do that.
Mesh material selector dot select is a method which is not valid in the given context. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really make sense because technically, even though it's getting blocked by this if statement, this is getting called even when this isn't getting called at all, and there's no index there. So this would be like a null value.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would work if it would just let me do it, because it only would this gate is only going to get opened if this gets called. I just can't make within like a one-time fire method like this, like in select. I can't make it like run over and over and over like in an update, right? And I think that's why a coroutine. I think that's what a coroutine would do. But I'm not fully sure how those work, so I think I have to do more homework on that. So I guess we'll probably call it there. I mean, What if I do this? So, if it somehow gets called before this is triggered, then it'll just default to 0 and it won't matter because that's already the default. But then in this case, it goes through, gets called, the gate gets opened. Oh no, this should get set first. So fake index equals index, meaning now it's 1 or 0, whatever. And then the gate gets opened. And then while the gate is open, mesh render lerps between that and duration. Duration should be 0 by default. And then I say duration plus 0.01, I guess. Or just 0.1. That'll determine how fast it increases. And then I should say if duration is... Oh, I should put the parentheses there. If duration equals 1, duration equals 0, and gate equals false. I think that'll do it. The only problem here is if 0.1 is too fast of a rate, because it's going to be incrementing by 0.1 every tick.
Yeah, that's probably too fast.
We'll see, though. Let's see if that does anything.
It'll do it in a sixth of a second.
You could. I feel like you saw it go for a second there. All right, so I'll put it to 0.001. So now that'll be 60 seconds, right?
I think so. Well, actually, your frames are much higher than 60.
Oh, yeah. Still.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and it works on my character's shadow, too. I think.
Very nice.
Oh, well. What the fuck? Now it stopped working. Damn it. Why would that happen? Why would this happen? Fuck.
Skinned mesh? Could skinned mesh renderer have to do with it? Instead of mesh renderer.material? You use that in the lerp.
Yeah, but it stopped working on the box, too. Oh, wait, do I? No.
She doesn't have a skinned mesh renderer, right?
Maybe it's on trigger exit. What happens on trigger exit again?
Did it work like the first time and then stop working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Did it only work one time, though? I don't remember now. We'll see. Okay, so it worked. And now it doesn't work. So yeah, it only works once. So close.
Oh, on exit, you got alert back, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it on exit, all it does is switch it back to 0, though. So it would just call select again, but now with 0.
I don't know. Usually the solution when things only work once is because you have to do it in reverse.
Well, it's probably because this is defaulting to 0. Like, maybe I have to set... Oh, shit, I don't know. Oh, I guess here's one thing to test it. See if this is firing every time. Oh, it's not firing at all. What the fuck? Did I not save? Yeah, this is just never firing then. So this is probably the problem. If duration equals 1... I guess I should say if duration is equal to, or is greater than or equal to 1. That's probably what it is. Maybe it's passing up 1. Okay. I think I might have wrote that backwards. Oh, I said less than. God damn it. Okay, if duration is greater than or equal to 1. Fuck! And it didn't fire at all. Oh, wait, yeah, it did. That's bizarre. So, look, if I wait for it to... If I go inside of it and wait for full duration to fire, then I come out, then it'll lerp back. But it doesn't lerp when I go in.
That's weird.
So there's just got to be a logic thing. Like, I'm not resetting this properly or something.
I think I'm close to finding this video. I searched the name and then just went by view count all the way down until I got to no more results. But I don't believe them because I'm scrolling up to 2K views now and I still haven't seen it, and there's no way. There's no way. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Why would YouTube hide videos?
He's trying to find a YouTube video.
You're doing your lerp, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not just like waiting. I'm working on a thing. Um,
Force exact match using quotes, they say. But that's not it.
Maybe this needs to be above that. I can't return on update.
Now I'm just subtracting words. You can subtract words, and that works pretty good.
That's
So
crazy.
every time I see a video that isn't it, I'm just taking one of the words that I think won't be in the title out of the search, and I'm actually getting a ton of stuff.
Damn it.
Oh, is this it? Is this it? No. Shit. Ton of stuff I haven't seen before. Searching. But then halfway down they go, people also watched. And then a quarter, 3/4 of the way down, it's just for you. This is the new meta, I feel like, for YouTube. I keep finding stuff that I had not seen in previous searches just by like removing common terms.
So I guess the problem is that it's taking way longer to lerp than I thought it was at 0.001. So when I move back and forth between them, it's interrupting that loop, and that's fucking something up. So I need to have some sort of thing to allow for interruption, and it like doesn't fuck everything up. It should be like if it stops halfway, then it just reverts back.
Is it messing with like, could it be like material selector is like using the same value across all its versions
For which value?
for for index? Oh, but you're lerping. Never mind.
I mean, look,
You're
because
lerping material.
if I within it, if I wait for the lerp to finish before I move between them, it works. So I go in here and I watch this value climb all the way up. Then when I leave it, then it lerps back. And I wait the full duration. I don't know where the timer is for that. And then if I go back in, it lerps again. So the problem is with the interruption. And I guess if I made the lerping faster, that would happen less often. Like if I make that 0.05. But that still is a problem, that if it gets interrupted, it just completely breaks it. But this should make testing a little better at least. No, that's just like snapping at this point. It's too fast.
Look at this picture.
Who's this man?
This is Hoger Zoshna.
Oh.
What? You don't know Hoger? Kurdistani, wow.
So yeah, look, it works. It's just I have to like tiptoe around it. See, now I broke the exiting lerp because I exited too early. So when I leave, it exits, and then when I enter, or no, I don't know. It just sometimes works. Like, and it's fuck. Can you make the lerp less than, or does that not work? Do you mean can I just make the lerp take less time? And that's LERP because it's linear interpolation. That's what lerp is for. Stands for. But I mean, yeah, that's what I've been experimenting with, is changing the amount of time that the lerp takes. But it just currently if I don't wait for it to finish its full cycle, it breaks everything. And that's not how it should be. So I should have some sort of thing in here that's like, I don't know. Because otherwise the gate doesn't get set to false, I guess. And the duration doesn't get reset back to 0 if I don't wait for it to go. Oh, greater than or equal to? Yeah,
Like only fire if it's greater than or equal to.
Greater than or equal to 1. That's what I already have that. Oh, less than or equal to 1? Or less than or equal to... I mean, I could do that, but I don't know if that would change anything for the better. So I'm checking, is duration less than 1? That would just immediately fire then. Because duration starts at 0.
Less than... if the value that controls the lerp. What's the other one?
Oh, duration.
Oh, I guess it is just duration.
So he's saying if you make the duration less than 0.005?
No, like I think he means do the lerp as long as the duration is less than 1 or equal to 1. So you put the lerp in an if duration is, oh, I guess, yeah, if the duration is less than or equal to 1. I guess that else if kind of does that.
I guess that might be a more elegant way of doing that, though. So if duration is less than.
Oh, and don't do else if, because else if only fires if the first one isn't true.
I think I want that, though, right?
I guess, but it could leave you with some like, I feel like in this
I'll just try
situation
it.
it could be the cause if something isn't firing.
So if duration is greater than or equal to 1, meaning it has reached a full cycle, it's filled all the way up, it resets back to 0 and closes the gate so that this doesn't fire anymore.
One
But
of the one of those has to, yeah, one of the equals has to go. It's gonna get caught on 1.
what do you mean?
It's gonna go to 1 and then it'll say, oh, this first one is true, so it's 0. Oh, I guess that is, yeah, that should work actually for this logic. Usually I guess it would do both, but it won't. It'll do the first one first,
And
and
it
then
shouldn't
duration
be.
goes
I
to
just
0.
realized it shouldn't be less than or equal to 1. It should just be less than. Because then if it does equal 1, both of these will
Yeah.
fire. So then if duration is less than 1, meaning it hasn't completed a cycle, then lerp and increment duration. Lerp, increment duration, lerp, increment duration. Then it
I
fires
think
this, and then
I
ends.
think if that one is equal, you should. I think it actually is okay for this one scenario, but either way, it's better to do it the way you have it. But in this one scenario, since when it goes to 1, it sets it to 0, it would usually fix itself.
Oh, I think that's true, yeah.
But
Um,
either way, that's better.
okay, I mean, I don't know if that's what I just did is going to change much. I didn't really
Yeah, who
change
knows?
anything, but we'll see. But yeah, I think it comes down to the fact that it's got to be fired. See, I have to wait for it to fully charge. Oh wait, it's not even doing it. See, it's annoying how this debug thing looks. But whatever.
The video that I'm looking for just must be hidden. Like it must be,
Yeah, I might have gotten privated or something. You never know.
yeah, such an old video. I have to assume the stream that I saw it on just had, they just had the link.
I wonder if I could make it to like variable depending on how close to the center you are. So you get darker as you're more in shadow. So you could stop halfway and be like half in shadow, you know?
Yeah.
That might be. So it would lerp to that, which in and of itself. Well, it's not a lerp in that case. In that case, it's just a distance. So then that would just be the material that we're lerping to. That is material index. Instead of that being material index, that would be. Somehow I would have to tie like another lerp within that that's like uses the index or uses your distance from the center between you and shadow and then lerps between your current whatever. I fuck with all this off stream. I just that last bit it's so close to working, but there's definitely a smarter way to do this. I should probably just look up like I'm sure there's good examples for this. Okay, well, we're gonna have to call it there then, because we're running out of progress here. I'm probably gonna keep working on this though, just because it's annoying me. But hopefully, I'll have results to show tomorrow or next stream.
Gotta go bang our heads against the wall.
Yeah, I think this is the part that's not really stream friendly, where I'm just gonna have to sit here and stare at it for a little bit. And we're at 2 hours, so might as well call it. But yeah, we didn't make a ton of progress on the actual tutorial, but I think that's a good sign is when we're spending more time actually like coding shit on our own and like finding uses for it. But yeah, this shit is dope. The events, like that you can make they can fire events just in the editor like that. That's badass. I'm gonna use that a lot. But for now, goodbye.
Bye.